My hand is trembling. Before me lies a document from the Hungarian National Archives, dating back to 1611. The ink has faded, the paper yellowed, but what it describes is still blood red. The number of girls, 65, perhaps more than 100. I am a historian. I have been studying Central European documents for years. I've read thousands of pages, but the day I first opened this file, I began trembling in the cold silence of the archives, because history is not just about chronologies. History consists of forgotten screams. Today I will tell you a story. This story appears in textbooks as a vampire legend, but in reality, this is the story of a woman's madness, the corruption of power, and how helpless young girls were destroyed. Snowflakes were falling that night, December of 1610. Slovakia was cold. Smoke rose from the stone towers of Čachtice Castle. Everything seemed normal, but that normalcy concealed a nightmare. When I imagine this scene, I close my eyes, because when you read court records, the words come alive before your eyes. I know what happened inside the castle that night, and this knowledge is sometimes like a curse. Elizabeth Bathory was born on August 7, 1560. She was the child of one of Hungary's most powerful families. The Bathory family was related to kings. They had estates, they had armies. Their blood was noble blood, but noble blood sometimes becomes poisonous. In the letters I found in the archives, there are strange details. One of Elizabeth's uncles thought he was Jesus. An aunt suffered from epileptic seizures. Inbreeding had continued for generations. Elizabeth was a very intelligent child. She spoke 4 languages: Latin, Hungarian, German, Slovak. This was rare for a girl child. In the 16th century, women could not receive education. But Elizabeth was different. Private tutors had been hired. She learned philosophy, history, literature. She read books, wrote letters. She was very intelligent. But that intelligence in the wrong hands was a dangerous weapon. She was married off at 15 to Ferenc Nádasdy. He was called the Black Knight because he was fighting against the Ottomans. He was merciless, he was cruel. The wedding was magnificent. 4,000 guests came. The lights of the palaces were burning. Feasts were held, wines were drunk, music was played. But no one knew. No one knew that this wedding was the death warrant for hundreds of girls. There is a detail in the documents. At the wedding, they didn't change Elizabeth's surname. She remained Bathory, because she was more noble, more powerful than Nádasdy. And this taught her something. Power is above everything. Ferenc was constantly at war. He would be away from home for months, and Elizabeth would be left alone in a large castle with servants. And over time, something began to change. Loneliness changes people, especially if you have power and no one can stop you. Elizabeth was initially a normal noblewoman, but as the years passed, she slipped to a dark side. Perhaps she was affected by her husband's violence. Perhaps the illness in her family infected her too. Or perhaps she was always this way, just waiting for her opportunity. Comment below where you're watching this story from, which city, which country you're following from. I'm curious, because this story is not just Hungary's story, it's the story of humanity's dark face. Who was the first victim? There is a name in the archives: Anna, a 12-year-old servant girl from a poor family, sent to work at the castle. It was the early 1590s. One day Anna broke something while cleaning Elizabeth's room, perhaps a mirror, perhaps a picture. It doesn't matter what it was. What matters was Elizabeth's reaction. A witness describes it in the court records. The Countess became very angry. She grabbed the girl by her hair and threw her to the ground. Then she began beating her, with her hands, then with a stick. The girl was crying, begging. "Please, Countess, forgive me," she said. But the Countess didn't stop. There was a strange light in her eyes, as if she was enjoying it. It lasted for hours. Anna died the next day. Her wounds had become infected, but no one said anything. Because Anna was just a servant. Even if a noble woman killed a servant, the laws protected her. No one cared. And Elizabeth discovered something: impunity. If you can do something and face no punishment, you do it again, and again, and again. Human psychology works this way. When there are no boundaries, humans become monsters. After Anna came others: Ilona, Katalin, Dorothea, Judith. They were all young girls. They all came from poor families. They had been sent to work at the castle. A good job, they had told the families. The Countess will pay you. Your daughter will be well. But the girls didn't return. She ran away, they would say. She went somewhere else. And the families would believe it. Because what else could they do? Would they ask if something happened at the castle? Who would listen to them? Elizabeth's court had 4 assistants, 4 accomplices. First name Dorothea Countess. She was an old woman. In the village they called her a witch. She practiced magic, prepared potions. Elizabeth had taken her in because Dorothea could do anything, everything. She had no conscience. Second name Ilona Jo. She was a nanny. She had been with Elizabeth since childhood. She was blindly loyal to her. She would do whatever Elizabeth said. Third name Katalin Benetsky. She was a washerwoman. A strong woman. Her hands were large, her arms thick. She would hold the girls, carry them. If there were those who resisted, she would silence them. Fourth name Janos Uvari. He was a servant. The only man. He did the castle's dark work. He dug graves. He buried corpses. He knew how to keep secrets. Without these 4 people, nothing would have happened. They were Elizabeth's eyes, her hands. They were guilty too, perhaps as much as Elizabeth. How did the girls come to the castle? Sometimes families would send them. Work at the castle, earn money, they would say. Hope was given to poor families, then that hope was stolen. Sometimes they were collected from villages. The Countess is looking for servants, would be announced. Young girls would apply. They would never be seen again. Sometimes they were stolen. A girl walking on the road would suddenly be kidnapped. No one would be notified. A witness describes it in the court documents. A girl came. Her name was Zuzana. She was 13 years old, very beautiful, blonde hair, blue eyes. The first day she was very happy. "I will send money to my family," she said. But on the 3rd day, the Countess called her, and I never saw her again. I asked, "Where is Zuzana?" They said she got sick. She died. But I heard screams at night, and in the morning I saw blood in the basement. The basement, the castle's darkest corner. That place was hell itself. Stone walls, dampness, the smell of mold, and cages, iron cages. Inside them, young girls. Some had been there for days, some for weeks. Hungry, thirsty, freezing, Elizabeth would sometimes go down there. She would walk slowly. She would look at the cages. She would decide which girl to choose. You. Yes, you. You tonight. The chosen girl would begin to tremble because she knew she wouldn't come back. Strange sounds would be heard inside the castle. At night, screams, pleas, then silence. The villagers heard these sounds, but no one did anything. Because fear is stronger than conscience. Because if they said something, their turn might come. Please like this video and follow. What follows is even darker, even more terrifying. Now let me tell you about the torture methods. When I read the court records, my stomach turned. The witnesses were 3 servant women, Dorothea Countess, Ilona Jo, Katalin Benetsky. They saw everything. The girls would be beaten, with whips, with sticks, with rods. Their bodies would be riddled with holes. Some girls' fingers would be cut off. With knives, with scissors. In winter, naked girls would be taken outside. It would be snowing, and water would be poured on them. They would wait until they froze. They would die of freezing, and Elizabeth would watch. She would sit and watch. They say she would sometimes smile. Why? Why would someone do this? Legends say she would bathe in the blood of young girls to preserve her beauty. But I don't believe this legend, because the court records don't mention blood baths. This story was added years later. The real reason is darker: sadism, power intoxication, and a madness that no one could stop. Where did the girls' corpses go? Some were buried in the castle garden, some in the fields, some under the church. A priest testified in court. The Countess told me, "Bury these girls." I was afraid. I didn't know what she would do to me if I refused, so I secretly buried them at night. How many? No one knows exactly. The court said 65, but some witnesses said 200. Elizabeth's husband, Ferenc, died in 1604, and Elizabeth was now completely free. She was in her 30s, wealthy, powerful, untouchable, and the tortures increased. Now it wasn't just poor girls. Elizabeth began kidnapping noble girls too, but she made a mistake. Noble families didn't stay silent. If a poor family's daughter disappeared, no one cared. But if a noble family's daughter disappeared, that was another story. Complaints began to increase. The Countess has gone mad. Strange things are happening at the castle. Girls are disappearing. King Matthias could no longer remain silent. He ordered an investigation, December 30th, 1610. Midnight Count György Thurzo raided Čachtice Castle with his soldiers. They broke down the door. They went inside. In the great hall there was a girl on the floor, dead. Her body was wounded, the blood had dried. They went down to the basement. There were girls in cages there, alive but barely. Please, they were begging. Get us out, please. Thurzo took a deep breath. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. They dug in the castle courtyard, in the fields. Dozens of corpses were found. Thurzo wrote in his report, "What I have seen is the devil's work. This woman is a monstrous creature." Elizabeth was captured, but she wasn't arrested because she had noble blood. She couldn't be tried in court, so a different decision was made. She would be imprisoned, but in her own castle. January 1611. The doors to Elizabeth's bedroom were nailed shut. The windows were walled up. Only a small hole was left for food, for air. In the first days, Elizabeth screamed, "Get me out! I am a countess." But no one answered. Days, months, years passed. Elizabeth's hair began to turn white. Her face paled. Sometimes she would see visions. The girls she had killed would come. "You killed us," they would say. "Why did you kill us?" Elizabeth would cover her ears with her hands. "No, go away." August, a guard, looked through the food hole. Elizabeth was lying in bed, motionless. She died. She was 54 years old. She lived in that room for 4 years, without seeing the sun, without hearing human voices. No one claimed her body. Even her family didn't want it. One night she was secretly taken away and buried in an unknown place. She has no grave. Just a legend remained. The Blood Countess. The trial began in January 1611, but Elizabeth didn't appear in court. Only her assistants were tried. Dorothea Sentes, Ilona Jo, Katalin Benecki, Janos Uivari. Witnesses were heard. A servant woman testified, "I worked in that castle for 10 years, so I saw everything. The Countess was torturing girls, but I couldn't do anything. Because if I said something, I would be killed too." Dorothea Sentes denied nothing. "Yes, I did it. The Countess commanded, I obeyed." The jury decided Dorothea Sentes. Her fingers will be cut off. Then she will be burned alive. Ilona Jo. She will be beheaded. Katalin Benecki. She will be beheaded. Janos Uivari. Life imprisonment. But the people were not satisfied. What about Elizabeth? She's the real culprit. Elizabeth had 4 children. Their names were changed. The Bathory surname was removed because the Bathory name was now a stain. Her eldest son, Paul, became a soldier. He died in war. Her daughter Anna went to a monastery. She never married. The Bathory family erased Elizabeth's name from all records, as if she had never lived. Čachtice Castle still stands today, in Slovakia. In ruins. Every time I go there, I go down to the basement, to where the cages were. I close my eyes, and I hear the screams, "Please, please let me go." I put my hand on the wall, and I feel it. I feel the pain of hundreds of girls. In 2008, during the castle's restoration, something was found. In a room on the wall, carved in small letters, "My name is Ilona. I am 14 years old. If you are reading this, please remember me." When I read this, I cried, because Ilona had carved her name in Last Hope. And I promise you, Ilona, we remember you. Elizabeth Bathory's story is not just the story of a mad woman. This is the story of the corruption of power, This is the story of the monster created by impunity. This is the story of how the powerless were destroyed. Elizabeth killed for years, and no one stopped her. Because she was powerful, the victims were powerless. Only when noble families raised their voices, only then did justice move. Does this remind you of something? Today, in the 21st century, the same stories are still happening. The powerful still crush the powerless. Those who listen to the voiceless are still few. History repeats itself. If we forget, the court records don't have an exact number. At least 80 girls were killed. Perhaps 100, perhaps 200. Each one was a name. Each one was a life. Anna, Susanna, Marta, Ilona, Catalin, Dorothea, Judith, I remember them. And I ask you, remember them too. There is a monument in Slovakia. On it is written, "To the forgotten girls of Čachtice." Their names are lost, but their pain is not forgotten. Every year people go there. They leave flowers. Every time I go, I leave a flower too. And I say to myself, I remember you. I hear your voice, dear viewers. This story was dark, I know. But these stories must be told. Because history is not just the story of heroes. History is also the story of victims, of the forgotten. If this video affected you, please like it, please follow, and write in the comments. What did you learn from this story? Which history story would you like me to tell? Elizabeth Bathory continued to spread fear even after her death. When vampire legends swept through Europe in the 18th century, her story was transformed into a vampire story. Hundreds of films and books were made about her, but they all made the same mistake. They turned her into legend. They made her a vampire. But the truth is more terrifying. Elizabeth wasn't a vampire. She was just a human. A human with power, and a human who abused that power. That's what's truly terrifying, because it means this can happen again. Anytime, anywhere, if power is unlimited. If there is no justice. If no one stops it. Finally, I want to tell you something. Were you uncomfortable watching this video? Were you sad? Good? Because these feelings are the voice of your conscience. Don't lose those feelings. Because those feelings are what make us human. Elizabeth Bathory had lost those feelings, and she became a monster. But don't you lose them. Remember, feel, learn, and work so that something like this never happens again. If you've watched this far, thank you. If you liked it, please like it. If you want to follow, please follow. And write in the comments, which history should I tell next? I am a historian, and my duty is not yet finished. There are more forgotten stories, more silent screams, and I will tell them all. See you soon.